Jimmy, it has been 4 months since our last interview. I think around February 14th when I checked. And at the time,
hmm
you had gone from $220 to 450,000 in the span of 7 months. So huge accomplishment. And in the 4 months since, how has everything been for you? What significant things can you talk about?
So up and down. It after the interview, I decided to start helping as much as I could. Start just accepting so many DMs and just from Twitter to Instagram to new students in the real world. And I ended up taking on too much. I ended up really hurting myself in some ways,
Mhm.
and I ended up losing $201,000. That's when I stopped, but I made a mistake. I woke up in the morning. At one point, I love to do overnight trading, and I woke up and I was negative $68,000 off of one single play. It like the feeling of my stomach just coming completely down, and it created such a deep level of thought that I had to go through, and I had to make sure that to find out mistakes and everything. And it just, to me, I think I thought I was invincible. I thought I could do whatever I wanted. I could just go ahead and create a lifestyle just out of the blue like this, and it's a good thing at the end of the day because the biggest loser wins in the long run. And I feel like having such a big impact in my life that came in just made it a lot better. It made
Mhm.
me search for answers that were right in front of me, but yet I've ignored.
So you mentioned overnight losing over 60,000. What about the other 140,000? Where was that from?
So it was more of a downward spiral. It created how can I say that? It created just a stairwell of darkness. Like I was revenge trading. I was not following my rules. I was over trading. Um, like I lost my edge. I don't know how else to say it. It hit me in the like deep level. I try to help everybody while trading. I try to accept every kind of DMs. I try to deal with so many new challenges that I've never really had before. And yeah, the exposure I received opened up a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities, a lot of people, like a lot of yeah, a lot of opportunities, and too much. I just took too much on my shoulders, and that hurt. It hurt me in a big way. So
Mhm.
over the span of 1 month, everything everything was gone. Well, half of it was gone,
Yeah.
and it
So
took
yeah,
me eight
taking
months to
on.
gather everything. And in one single month, you can lose
Mhm.
half of it.
Right. So taking on too much at once affected your emotionality, which then affected your trading.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Interesting. So what have you learned from stocks then that you can attribute from stock trading that you can correlate with real life?
That every decision has to be calculated, no matter what. You have to you have to realize that in the long run, if you rush something, like there's a momentum factor, but if you rush it and just think that you can do more and more and more and more, at some point your body has a limit. At some point your mind has a limit, and you have to find that limit before it's too late, before you lose everything, you know. And
Hmm.
to me, I managed to reach out to a bunch of people on the campus, which this amazing network, like that network is so good for us in any problems that can come up to you. You can find someone in there that's going to come and help you out, like for free. They're just going to genuinely see that you're struggling, and they're going to help you. And
Hmm.
so I stopped using the account, first of all, for nearly 2 weeks after that. And I discovered Apex Trading, a funded program that allowed you to play an evaluation. And from the evaluation, once you pass it, they give you a personal account that's a live account, and they have a drawdown and a threshold. So there's a maximum amount of money you can lose or play at once, uh, which made me realize and redo all my risk management. It made me redo my rules. It made me just kind of slow down, and that was just a epiphany. Like it was a really good moment for me to sit down and take time to intake everything and to figure out what I need, like what did I do wrong in the whole process. So the month later, after I realized everything was like that was going on, I ended up making almost $130,000 just like that, just by slowing down, just taking the moment to be able to answer everybody's questions. Don't trade when you're doing that, and it everything balanced out after that.
Hmm.
But I'm still trying to recover from that, so it's
Right.
you know
Interesting. Okay. So, but at least you are on the recovery now. Good to hear that. Yeah, you've remade 130,000. Congratulations on that. Still very
thank you.
significant.
It
So,
is.
yeah.
It was hard. It gets you to a very deep, like dark place in your head that you think that everything is failing, right? So it goes down. It's insane. I've never experienced that, even through life. Like no matter what could happen before, it hit you on a deeper level. That's unexplainable.
Is it because you attached yourself to that vision of the lifestyle you wanted to create and you were envisioning yourself already having achieved it and then seeing the money start dropping? It's like all of that vision has fallen apart and you're not sure if it will, what you'll do now. Because, yeah, if it's falling apart, like, will you recover? You don't know. Do you need to completely reevaluate everything? Was that the kind of mindset there? I don't know how else to phrase.
Absolutely, yes. Because so to me, I'm not really taking that much out of there to live from, because I want to build and build and build, and to see that much going out, like it especially in a short period of time. Like I was like, oh my god, like am I gonna stop it at some point? Is that gonna get fixed? Am I gonna be able to win a little more right now? It affects your mindset, affects your psychic, it affects your everything. It affects you every single day. You wake up and then you start thinking, am I going to lose today? Am I going to become profitable today? And like as I say that, I just don't like. I look at my trade view, and I placed an overnight trade that I went to bed on, and it's up for $4,145 right now. Like this is the kind of stuff that makes you never stop. And I told myself I can't quit, because
Mhm.
quitting just is not an option. But yes, absolutely, it affects your mindset and your
Mhm.
psyche in
Yeah.
the worst ways that I have ever seen before.
Mhm. So, since recovering from that downward spiral, has your long term vision or plans changed then? Or do you still have the same plans as before in terms of envisioning yourself in that other lifestyle? Or is it more short term goals now and just focusing on maybe day to
Same
day,
plan,
week to week?
absolutely same plan. I think that was a user error. It wasn't the system or the process, or it was my fault. I created. I just broke the rules, man. I
Hmm.
broke the trading rules. When
Right.
when 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 you start trading, you have to have a rule book. You have to have risk management. There's so many factors leading to a successful trading journey that I've broken. I got careless. I got lazy,
Hmm.
and many students and just told me, hey, you're, you're crazy. Like, why are you doing this many trade in one day? Why are you not properly managing your risk? Why are you not playing less, making more? Change your ratio. Like, there was so many things that they told me that made sense, and then I took time to realize all of this, and it's basically fixing a broken car. The car is still good, but there's a few fix that needs to be happening, and
Right. And during that downward spiral, did you take their advice as soon as you heard it, or did it take some time to process until you actually implemented it?
I made a list. I made a list of what they were telling me, and I went down the list. I had to, but I took my time to intake multiple things from. There was like three people that really helped me out, and then one obviously professor was kind of continuing to helping throughout the journey. But yeah, I mean, three good friends that I consider that saved my journey really.
Hmm. So, is this something that could happen again? Do you have a plan in case it does? Or since you've overcome it already, do you think it's something that won't repeat itself?
I don't think it will repeat itself because I've reduced my. I have a very strong set of rules that I now use every single day, no matter what. No matter if it's a great setup, like I'll place three trades a day. That's it. If I have a 1 to 3 ratio, I'm not winning that much, but my the ability to reduce the losses, if that one win is big enough, I can still come out on top. So
Mhm.
it's just I don't think it will repeat itself just by
Okay,
modifying a few risks.
fair. So yeah, just it was part of the journey what happened to you, and now you've overcome it and will likely not repeat itself. Good, okay. Now, is there any more to add in terms of maybe how your mentality has changed over those 4 months? Or would you say that's mostly covered now?
It made me stronger mentally. It made me realize that certain execution moments have to happen no matter what. That fear is not real. That you 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 can't go through life being scared of executing something. You can't go through life thinking and that you need to hold back. Like, to me, as scary as it was, I'm just gonna continue playing the exact same way according to the rules.
Yeah.
I I I believe that someone that really wants to get something done will do it regardless. But he needs to realize the difference between taking too much and like going for the same mindset, the same goal that they had before any type of accidents.
Okay, fair enough. And has your physicality been affected by the downward spiral, or is everything good in that sense?
No, I continued training every day, continue eating the same thing. My habits never really changed. I think it was all in here.
Nice. Okay, interesting. And yeah, it's good to hear that you had people within the real world community who you could turn to who helped you out. That's I mean, yeah, that's a common theme you hear, that people building brotherhoods from other people with other people in the community.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's a great. What about, did you go through the lessons again within the Stocks campus, or when you were going through the downward spiral, or is it something you had already fully absorbed into yourself and you didn't see much need to at the time?
So I did not, but I knew that I had to sit down and find what the problem was. I knew I had to write down a few things, a few emotion that I went through, and a lot of this stuff I already knew. A lot of this stuff was already in the courses that at the start whenever I joined. It, yeah, it's just it was user error, and it's a mistake that most traders will do, you know. And they could go through again and again and again and try to find where the puncture is on a flat tire, you know. But if you don't have a method to find it and to go down a list of tasks and things, you'll never you'll never improve. It's a very meticulous experience, I would say.
Okay. And since you're saying physicality didn't change much over that time, most of your habits stay the same. Is there any difference within those 4 months then, since we last done an interview, in terms of your average day? Is that any different now compared to 4 months ago?
My days are shorter, I could say, because once my trades are done, I'm done. I'm out. I'm going. I mean, I'm going to go to my other job. I'll just step outside, go have some food, or I'll close the screen. I
Okay.
will stop instantly.
So there's more of a balance now
Correct.
between work and not work. I don't know how else
Hmm.
to say.
I mean, I think they're both work. They're both. I treat it like a
Okay.
business now. So it's not more of a, oh, I can do this as a hobby. No, no, no. This is a business. This is a true business. And that's how trading has to be approached. This is a business. You need to stay alive in the business. If you just launch something that's a year old, you can't do these
Mhm.
mistakes. You have to take your time. You have to accept that it's not a it's not a just a hobby. It's more than that.
So just to clarify, you're saying taking some time to relax, or maybe, yeah, let's say to relax, is part of succeeding in your business.
Correct. Taking your time. Just don't rush anything. Don't don't just be, too hasty to take some things. Taking your time is it's such a different mindset when you need to keep the momentum, but the momentum will follow you if you properly, you know, meticulously go through your journey and accept the failures and accept that the small failures might give you the same mindset in return compared to a big failure. Now I just decided to continue revenge trading. That was crazy.
Okay. So since you're on this trajectory now, where do you see your life heading? Short term, medium term, long term?
I think so. It's been a year on June 17th. Yeah, it's been a year already since I joined the campus or started trading. And I think I'm trying to think that it's time for me to do something about, just do something for me instead of just continuing compounding and looking at it every day and be like, oh, what if I, get something? So my birthday's coming up in next month, so I'm planning a little something to reward me for not blowing up the account
Hmm.
because I know a lot of people they blew up their account when they started, and that's I think I prepared myself to deserve something to go on and about.
And what about longer term, beyond a month? Any plans?
It's just same goals. I just want to retire my parents. I've even been talking to my mom about it, and my parents they're old. They when you hear them cry on the phone that they're 64, 65 years old, and they still have to work. They still have to deal with a boss. Like it's saddening. So many of us don't have that experience. Like so many of us don't really know what it is to work for 40, 45 years at the same place for the same person. Like it's such a like we need to think about our parents. We need to think about the people that put us here first, and then we can see ourselves in a few higher position in life. But parents first, man. That's something I've really realized real quick.
Hmm. All right. So yeah, having the vision of wanting to retire your parents, and then again during that downward spiral, I guess that also adds to the negative the negatives of it. So yeah, it makes sense what you're explaining about how tough it was, and it's great that you were able to recover from that month of downward spiral. Where, as you're saying, some people don't; they just trade all their account all the way down.
I gotta thank Seth for the mindset Seth has. Seth is such a great person in my life. Like he woke me up in a certain way. Seth is just such a rare person. Like he knew through most of this like journey from the point where it started at the top and then it then you reach a point where you're like, oh, okay, am I messing up here? And then I'm talking about that to him, and he's just like, man, if you like, don't quit. Like he's just right on the button, and he keeps telling you to continue to strive, to find a problem, find a way, just find a way. Man, it's a puzzle, find a way. And there's yeah, Seth is one crazy human being that I will never like not want to have by my side. He's like a
Mhm.
brother to me, and that made me feel better. It made me feel like I knew I could do this. And yeah, that's one of them, one of three.
Mhm.
Those brothers will never leave my side, period, no matter what.
Right.
Like once we're at the top, we're just gonna be walking down the street, and as we're gonna, yeah, the earth would shake. That's how much power we have together.
Mhm.
Like when we all put our heads down and get to work.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
felt that because of the real world.
when you said that there were three people within the Stocks campus who helped you get out of that downward spiral, I presumed one of them would be Seth, because
Mhm.
the experience the encounters I've had with him, I can attest that he is indeed an amazing individual. So
Mhm.
yeah, and since he's in stocks as well, I mean, it only made sense that he is one of those people.
Oh, I mean, we talk mostly every other day. Like we're always chit chatting here and there. We always try to elevate each other. That's the yeah. It's a brother from another mother. We
Hmm.
both have the same goals. We both have the same ambitions. We both are mentally strong. We both know where to draw the limit and to draw the lines in our lives and to keep on adding until it reaches a limit where we can't take anymore. But then we start talking to each other. Oh yeah, you can. Like you can try this. You can try that. And we just it's like a pitch of energy, and it's beautiful.
Hmm. Great. Okay, so yeah, I don't really have anything else to follow up with. I mean, it seems it's been almost 25 minutes now, which didn't feel like 25 minutes. I'm quite surprised. So, for my final question, for people who are maybe listening in and they're still unsure about joining the real world, what advice would you have to them?
I don't want to say the same thing as before because that's kind of that made a point. So just don't quit. Just do it for yourself. Do it for your parents. Do it for the ones that put you on earth. Do it for give yourself a reason to be here. Give yourself an elevated position in life where you, like you have to take charge. You have to change your mind, and if you don't execute, and if you don't if you don't take high value calculated risk, you will you will not know how it feels to be very very successful in a very short period of time. But at the end of the day, yeah, if you don't take risk, you how can you expect to be greater?
Mhm.
So yeah, to me, it's campus changed everything. And
Yes.
what you have access to is fantastic. Like there's people out there that are willing to help you no matter what. So that's an important factor.
Mhm. All right, okay. So thank you, Jimmy. For people who want to find out more about you or contact you for important reasons, because we don't want you to overdo yourself by not wanting to not reply to someone. So for people who want to contact you only for important things, this is to the viewer, where can they do so?
So on Rumble, so EXZEBIT on Rumble would be a good part. Just a comment here and there, and then you give me a Discord, and then I'll DM or we DM each other in a proper way instead of like having to answer to all the Twitter comments or the Instagram comments. But at the end, yeah, Rumble is where to go. Just a simple comment. And if you need help this much that you can't reach us inside the real world, that's where you find me.
Okay. So I'll add that to the description of the video. And yeah, Jimmy, thank you for coming on to update us on how the 4 months have been. Quite a journey. I mean, I guess you can expect it not to only be upwards. As long as you're recovering from any
Yes.
setbacks, then that's what matters, and learning from them. And yeah, so I
The
look forward to
recovery
doing
point, that's more important. It's
where you
knowing.
learn the most as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I look forward to doing another follow up in about 3 months or so to see how, again, everything is progressing for you. And until then, I wish you all the best.
Nice. Thank you.